She was shouting something I couldn't make out, but I didn't need to hear the words. I'd heard versions of them my entire life. The next call came from Aunt Laura. "Oliver," she said, breathless. "Where are you?" I debated lying. "Down the street." "Stay there. I'm coming." She hung up, and true to her word, 5 minutes later she climbed into my passenger seat. Her eyes were wide, but not with anger, more like someone who had just stumbled into a crime scene she wasn't expecting to find. "I listened to everything," she said. "Twice." I said nothing. I never knew it was that bad. I mean, I knew they were. Cruel sometimes. I just didn't realize how calculated it all was. I looked over at her. "You really didn't know?" She winced. "I saw pieces. But your mom always made it seem like you were the problem. She said you were dramatic, that you twisted things." I didn't want to believe she'd lie. "She didn't lie," I said softly. "She edited." Aunt Laura stared at the dashboard. "This is going to rip the family apart." "Then maybe it was already broken," I said. That evening, I went home to a flood of messages. Some angry, some apologetic, a few confused. But what stood out the most was the silence from the people who should have said something: my mom, Ava, and Uncle Ron. Not one of them reached out. Not even a call. Not a single word. Until the next morning. That's when I saw the post. My mother, in her usual performative style, had posted a long status on Facebook about betrayal, misunderstanding, and private matters being aired for attention. She never said my name, but the comments made it clear who she was talking about. People offered sympathy, called me disrespectful, said things like, "You raised him better than that, girl." But something unexpected happened in the thread. Maya commented. So did Daniel. Then Aunt Laura. One by one, people began pushing back. They called out the manipulation, the double standards, even sharing their own stories of being mistreated or lied to. The thread exploded. Some relatives deleted their comments. A few blocked me outright. But the tide had shifted. For once, I wasn't alone. For once, people saw it too. That weekend, I got a message request from Ava's boyfriend. It said, "I didn't know they were like that. I'm sorry. If I'd known what I was taking part in, I would have never sat in your chair." I didn't respond. I didn't need to. The message had already been sent, and not just the one in the group chat. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like a ghost in my own story. I felt like the author. And that story, it wasn't finished yet. The Sunday after Thanksgiving, I got a knock at my door. I live in a quiet part of town. Nothing fancy, just a modest apartment above a bakery that smells like cinnamon rolls every morning. It's peaceful, quiet. Nothing like the house I grew up in, where every door slam felt like a gunshot and every holiday dinner was a performance for the neighbors. I wasn't expecting visitors. Most of my friends had already texted me after the video went around, some supportive, some shocked. Maya had been calling me daily, but I wasn't prepared to open the door and see my dad. We hadn't spoken in almost a year. He looked older than I remembered, gray creeping further into his beard, that familiar leather jacket a little more worn. He didn't smile, just stood there, hands in his pockets, rocking slightly on his heels like he didn't know what to say. "Hi," he finally muttered. "Didn't expect to see you," I said, stepping aside but not exactly welcoming him in. He hesitated, then walked in anyway. I watched him scan the apartment, clean, quiet, filled with small things that made me happy. The records on the shelf. The stack of books I actually had time to read now. The framed photo of Maya and me from the one Thanksgiving we snuck out and got burgers instead of dealing with the family circus. "I saw the video," he said. "Or clips of it. Your aunt sent it to me." I waited. He sat down on the edge of my couch, looking at the floor like it held the answers he didn't know how to ask for. "Your mom, she's been losing her mind over this. Says you set her up. Says you twisted everything." I leaned against the counter. "Did I?" He didn't answer right away. Instead, he rubbed the bridge of his nose like he was trying to press the tension out through his skin. "I don't know, Oliver. I mean, I knew things were bad between you two. But hearing it like that, it was hard to listen to." I folded my arms. "Hard for who?" He looked up. "For me. Because it made me realize I let it happen. For years." And there it was. The first real sentence my father had ever said that felt like a mirror instead of a dismissal. I didn't say anything. I didn't trust myself to speak yet. He shifted on the couch. "You remember when you were 13 and your mom threw out your art portfolio?" I nodded slowly. That day had stayed with me. Months of work tossed into the trash because I'd gotten a B in science. "Yeah. She told me you'd drawn something disrespectful." I drew a cartoon of her yelling at me. That was it. He let out a dry laugh. I believed her. Never even asked to see it. That was the pattern, I said, and I was surprised at how steady my voice was. She'd say something. You'd nod. Ava would play along, and I'd be left trying to figure out if I was crazy or just not worth the truth. He looked like he wanted to argue, but he didn't. Instead, he sat there, nodding slightly, letting the silence stretch. I can't fix what happened, he said eventually. But I wanted you to know. I see it now. I wish I'd said something sooner. I wish I'd stepped in. I believed he meant it. I really did. But part of me also knew that his regret didn't undo years of complicity. He hadn't been cruel, but he'd been silent. And sometimes, silence is just a different kind of wound. I appreciate you saying that, I said. But I don't know what you want from me. He exhaled. I don't know either. I guess I wanted to see how you're doing. I'm doing better, I said truthfully. Now that I'm out of it. Now that I've stopped pretending they'll change. He nodded again. They're planning damage control. Of course they are. They think if they just wait it out, people will move on. I raised an eyebrow. And will they? He looked tired. Some already have. Some are scared to pick sides. But a few? They're furious. Especially with what you said about the money. Oh, that part. See, what I hadn't mentioned to anyone outside that original message was the money trail. I had been giving quiet financial support to several family members for years. Rent, car repairs, even a small loan to Ava once when she said her boyfriend was abusive and she needed to leave. I never asked for it back. Never told anyone. I did it because I thought maybe, just maybe, it would earn me a place in the family again. That stopped 3 months ago. I didn't make a scene about it. I just started redirecting my help toward Maya, toward friends, toward people who actually treated me like a person. The video I sent out included a note at the end. This is why I stopped paying for your lives. Apparently, that stung more than the audio clips. They're saying you're punishing them, my dad said. They punish themselves, I replied. I just stopped rewarding it. He didn't argue. After a while, he stood. I should go? I just wanted you to know you were right. About all of it. He started toward the door, then paused. If there's ever a way back, for us, I mean. I hope you'll let me take it. And then he left. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just stood there, in the quiet, wondering how long it would take for the next wave to hit. Because I knew the family wasn't done yet. My mom didn't let go of power that easily. Ava never handled humiliation well. And Thanksgiving might have been the spark, but Christmas was around the corner. And if they thought they could pretend nothing had changed, they were about to be reminded. I hadn't even started yet. By the time December rolled around, the silence was deafening. The group chat for family Christmas plans that usually lit